a Democrat?
Evil. Evil. That's it.
Hey, MAGA, do you know what's really evil? Evil is forcing everyone around you to solely abide by all of your rules and expectations because you believe that your chosen personal faith, along with your self-righteous belief to have a much higher moral ground than everyone else, gives you a mandate by your version of God to control and harass others just because they refuse to bow down to your self-proclaimed supremacy. Evil is then collectively deciding to nominate all over again as your presidential candidate a criminal who is now a proven legally adjudicated rapist and tax fraud, who also happens to be a 34 times convicted felon and counting, who also caused the unnecessary deaths of hundreds of thousands of your fellow Americans during a pandemic he couldn't manage, who also told you 8 years ago that he loved to sexually assault women by grabbing them by their pussy without their consent, who is also all over the recently released files from the Epstein, Florida court case, clearly showing him to be a pedophile, and who has also proven to be the most divisive huele bicho this nation has ever seen, just because he's very good at being loud and proud of the hate he has for the same neighbors that you fucking also hate. Evil is coming to a land to which you were never invited to then kill the majority of its native indigenous inhabitants so you could then act as though you discovered it, while then having the caucasity to call the very same people who you stole this land from illegals just because you also made up an imaginary borderline and some bullshit requirements in which you declared then that for them to be allowed to be in their own land, they have to first ask you for permission. Otherwise, they need to be separated from their families and thrown into your dehumanizing concentration camps. Evil is accusing the black people of this country of being your greatest burden, when in all reality you have done everything in your power to make them your burden, because time and time again they keep proving to you that the only reason you prefer them to be your burden is because when they are allowed to be your competition instead, they can be much more intelligent and capable than you are. That's precisely why you hated Obama so much and ended up replacing him with the personification of mediocrity, to prove to yourself that your mediocrity is greater than their capacity to be better than you. Evil is refusing then to teach your true history to your children because you are afraid that they will find out that you are a fucking asshole. Well, too late for that. Evil is refusing to do anything about our children getting shot at school all throughout our nation because your misguided alpha male complex combined with your obsessive love for guns is more important to you than the safety and life of your own children. Evil is wanting to strip the basic human rights and freedoms from your own women to choose to do with their lives whatever the fuck they want to, just because you want them to keep having more white babies while then also being forced to stay at home washing off the shit stain from your nasty drawers. And lastly but not least, evil is your inexplicable desire to turn this nation into a Christo-fascist authoritarian state just because the disdain you have for the other half of this country is much greater to you than our shared humanity, common sense, and your own interests. But sure, the Democrats are the fucking evil people. Stay woke, mi gente. Pare.